Don't feel sorry for Tony. We were at an event a couple weeks ago, and we did 4 coin flips. I lost every one of them. So I went first 4 times in a row. So don't feel sorry for him. I do want to thank Tony. It's tough to step up and run for office. Everything that you've ever done in life or thought you've done or somebody thought you did, it goes out over the internet or goes out somewhere, and somebody asks you about it. It is tough. It's tough on the families. And so Tony's stepping up and having his wife and his 2 kids be involved in this. It's a tough deal. I want to thank Canyon Country Advisory Committee. When you bring forward these types of forums, you get an idea. You get, hey, who is this guy? How does he answer questions? How does he deal with people? But I've got a great connection to this district. I got my brother in the audience. I got my niece and nephew that live just over there by Henry Mayo. We used to live right here, and now we live up in the Yellow Valley. It's part of what we know. I run for this district because, you know what? If I can make it better, and I'm the guy, then I want to. I don't care what name you call me, or if you think I'm not doing a good job, you can call me and say, why'd you do that? That's part of being out there and being your representative. But I want to go back to just a couple things. Let's look at what we've done. I talk about vets a lot. It's not just because I'm a vet. It's not because I love the vet community. It's because I work on vet issues. The very first bill I passed, the very first bill that was signed into law for me, was the Vet Bond Act. The Vet Bond Act was very convoluted, but in a sense, we're spending too much money on CalVet loans. And once we passed that, we saved $8 million for vets in CalVet loans. And over a 20-year period, we saved $250 million. I created in-state tuition for vets. That means if you come here to California, we want you. We want your GI Bill money, and we want you because you're a vet, and vets typically are good students, and they're good stewards. We like that. And thirdly, we want to help you out. You're a vet. You don the uniform. You might have gotten harm's way, and if you didn't, you were willing to do that. And lastly, my career before this was a police officer. And the best police show that ever was 1 out of 12. That ever will be. All you Hill Street Blues fans or whatever you are, you're all wrong. 1 out of 12 is the best police show that ever was. And it's because when those 2 show up and they knock on the door and they see the woman, and the woman says, you know what? That guy's playing his music loud, and I don't want to go over and confront him. And so Reed and Malloy had to walk across the street and talk to that guy and say, can you just turn it down so she doesn't call us again? No, they didn't say that. They said, can you just turn it down because you're bothering her? Well, that's police work. Well, that equates to what we do. That equates to what you do as a representative. I have to deal with you. I have to deal with maybe a Democrat that doesn't like me, maybe a Republican that doesn't like me. And I have to get them to understand this is what we're trying to do for the betterment. If you look at my legislative package, it's not very partisan. I work on education issues, I work on vet issues, and I work on economic impact issues. I do have my 1 gun bill issue. I guess that's partisan, because they kill them every year almost. But those 3 issues are not partisan issues. Everybody wants better schools. Everybody wants more opportunity for jobs and for growth. And who doesn't love a vet? Who doesn't love a vet that came home and now might need help? They might have PTSD. We need to help them. That's what my bills look at. I don't go out there and say, golly, I can do this because it sounds good in my head. I look at the community and I say, this will help the community. And this is a vet community. So that's what I've done. That's what I said I would do when I went into the Assembly. That's what I said I would do when I went into the Senate. That's what I'm saying now if you elect me in November. So I've stayed committed to my ideals. I appreciate you coming out tonight, and I appreciate you listening to us.